Hello and welcome to Committee and Field in Holliston, Massachusetts on Friday, October 26th for SportView's award-winning production of Holliston Panther Football 2018. It's found only on HCAT TV. Tonight, the Panthers host the Somerset-Berkley Raiders of the South Coast Conference in the quarterfinals of the MIAA Division V South State Tournament. My name is Tom Emmons, and alongside is the color man who's always ready for the playoffs, the legend, Jay Wyman. Jay, the Panthers rolled over the previously undefeated Ashland Clockers last week to take their 18th Tri-Valley League crown. Can they keep the momentum going tonight against Somerset-Berkley?
Well, you know, it's interesting. You have a big game like that. You come off a big emotional game, and you come right into the playoffs. So, yeah, they have to be ready. You know, funny thing here, you have two teams. Of course, Holliston is a much higher seed with a much better record. But, you know, a lot of people around town keep asking you, well, how they're going to do against them. Well, so all I can tell you is this. If Holliston and Somerset both play their best game, Holliston will win. And if Holliston and Somerset both play their worst game, Holliston will probably win. What's got to not happen is Somerset play their best game and Holliston not be up to the task. You know, that's probably not going to happen, but that's what it's going to take. But it's a very, very talented team across the way there, and Somerset-Berkley with some really, really good skill position people. So it's going to be a night that Holliston's going to have to be at their best.
The Panthers come in as the number 2 seed. Their record is 6-0 in the season. They are averaging 38 points a game on offense, allowing just 8 points a game on defense. Their head coach, Todd Kiley, in his 16th year with the Panthers, 135 wins, just 42 losses. He is 68-19 here at Committee and Field. His quote this week to Mass Varsity was, obviously this is going to give us a lot of momentum, meaning the Ashland win, but honestly this group is unreal as far as staying in the task on hand. It's a lunch pail group, regardless of the score. They're coming for work. We hope to see that out of the Panthers tonight. The Somerset-Berkley Raiders are the number 7 seed in the division. Their record 3-3. They've scored 23 points a game and allowed 17. Their head coach is Nick Freitas. In his 10th season with the Raiders, got 71 wins and 34 losses. He's led the Raiders to 6 league titles and a Super Bowl appearance in 2010. Well, captain's heading out for the coin toss for the Panthers. Number 72, Scott Elliott. Number 57 is Will Crowley, and I believe that's number 11, Henry Naughton.
This Holliston is really built for this playoff-type football in this time of year because they have a very, very powerful offensive line and a great running game. And, of course, Matt Arvanitis can throw the ball, too, if need be. And they also have a very, very strong defense. So when you're looking at playoff football, no matter what level you're at, you look at the offensive line and defense, Holliston's built for that this year.
Panthers have made the playoffs 9 of the last 10 years, going back 10 years. They are 17-5 in the playoffs. They are 10-0 here at Committee and Field. The Somerset-Berkley Raiders are 2-5 over. This is their 6th straight year that they've made the playoffs. These teams have actually met 5 times from 1992 to 1996. Somerset holding a 3-2 edge against the Panthers. And we'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. Well, Jay, it's home sweet home for the Panthers. Again, they are 47-7, an 87% winning percentage since 2009. This has been the place to be for the Panthers. Their hometown crowd really spurs them on, especially 10-0 in the playoffs.
Yeah, there is. And, you know, one thing you got to kind of look at that record, 10-0 record, which is absolutely a fabulous record. But remember, if you're home, you're the higher seed, so you're expected to win anyway. So that's why if you know, Holliston really, if they come out there, they take their time, play their game, you know, I think they'll be fine. What we're going to see is Somerset-Berkley is going to start off on offense. And what you're going to see out of Somerset-Berkley is there's a quarterback. His name is Meehan, number 3. He's really good. They're going to have to contain him and keep him within the pocket when they can. He's got a good arm. He throws very well. But the guy that you want to watch tonight is Robert Shaker. He's the backup quarterback. He's a running back. And they will have plays. You'll see tonight some plays that will feature him throwing the ball out of the halfback position. I think the other thing is, Tom, I think you're going to see a lot of, maybe not necessarily trick plays, but different plays, reverses and stuff to keep Holliston off balance because Holliston's defense has just been smothering opponents.
Number 3, Andrew Del Ponte with the kick taken about the 30-yard line. And Holliston with the tackle at the 35, and that's where the Raiders will start, 1st and 10.
And this is a Holliston defense that is just really, as I said, they've just really been amazing. They've had a couple shutouts and just really have statistically been dominant.
The Raider offense has averaged 296 yards a game, 230 of those on the ground, 66 through the air. The Panther defense on the other side been very stingy, only allowing 166 yards a game, 103 through the air, and just 63 on the ground. Quarterback for Somerset-Berkley, number 3, Jake Meehan. And a big hit from big number 72, Captain Scott Elliott, on number 9, Robert Shaker.
Scott Elliott, just, he's had some great games, but last Friday night against Ashley, and he was amazing on both offense and defense. And, he gets jacked up a little bit. He's going to be a tough load for Somerset to handle.
As you mentioned, Jay, Shaker last week against Fairhaven in their 42-12 win, he rushed for 21 times for 268 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2nd down and 8 for Somerset-Berkley. Meehan with the pitch. And a short gain tackle by number 51, David Harding.
I want to welcome all the Facebook viewers tonight. And if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching later on after the game's already been played, what it looks like out here is Holliston's running against that their war offense. And Holliston really knows this offense pretty well because not only have they been running it, but Nick Stevens is the guy who had started the diesel over there in Medfield. And that's who we kind of copied that from.
So 3rd down and 6 for Somerset-Berkley in the double wing. Pitch to Shaker, tries the left side. Panthers string it out pretty good and stopped for no gain on the play. That'll bring up 4th down for the Raiders.
One thing you can't simulate when you're playing defense in practice, or you have the scout teams playing defense or offense. You can't simulate the speed that Holliston has around the edges. And I know that Meehan and Shaker and some of these other runners, they like to go around the edge. So if Holliston can keep that contained, get those safeties over there to make the tackles, they're going to be in great shape.
Number 24, Mitch Gimblett, drops back to receive the punt for Holliston. Shaker, the kicker, sort of a line drive that drops at the 45. Gimblett picks it up on a bounce at the 30, and he's tackled at the Panther 39-yard line. So with 8 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the first quarter, Panthers will start their first offensive drive of the night.
Love Mitch Gimblett on those punts. He's never met a punt that he doesn't want to run back, and he does a heck of a job with that.
The Greek checked in with his projections for the game, and I tell you, he's been drinking the Panther juice because he says he sees Holliston 45-0.
Well, that would be nice, but let's see what happens.
Holliston offense averaging 362 yards a game. Their quarterback, Matt Arvanitis, number 6. He's got number 21, Tristan Benson, behind him. Handoff is to Benson. He splits the line, breaks to the right, and he is off to the races. 61 yards, touchdown Panthers! Tristan Benson.
If I only had a chance to say this right before when you were talking, I was going to say the weakness of that defense is up the middle. I saw Old Rochester filmed, and Old Rochester was going up the middle. Now, it's tough to get to the outside. They have a lot of athletes on the outside, and they can cover very well on the outside. But you get through that first line of defense, and Old Rochester was, and you saw this too, making run after run after run, play after play after play. So their weakness is Holliston's strength. So that's going to be a big mismatch tonight.
Del Ponte tries the extra point attempt. It's just right. but with 8 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Panthers score on their first play of the game. Tristan Benson, a 61-yard electrifying run. That's his 7th of the season, the 10th of his Panther career, and Holliston is rolling.
Yeah, don't go away, because you're going to see more of this tonight from Tristan Benson and from Dylan Ibbotson. This is that offensive line is just really, really amazing. I mean, Coach Perry it's just done an incredible job with this unit. They're a very close unit. You know, they talk a lot about how they go out to dinner together a lot, the kids and everything. And by the way, I don't want that, Bill. But they're really something, you know. And you do have the special player. You have Scott Elliott, and of course the other guy who I think is just a tremendous leader is Will Crowley on that line. And then the other kids who are on the line, you know, they're not all seniors either. They got some youngsters out there.
Del Ponte's line drive kick bounces at the 30. Chased backwards by Robideau to the 20-yard line, and he's tackled after no gain.
Now this defense, they were anxious to get back on the field. They come right off and they go right back on, and you know they're something. And you know that front seven, we talk about them a lot because they're really good. But those defensive backs have really, really been playing out of their mind too.
Starting defense for the Panthers, number 51, David Harding. Number 72, Scott Elliott. Number 57, Captain Will Crowley. Number 77, Chris O'Connell. Number 4, Connor Mulvaney. Number 32, Kevin Lyons. On 1st and 10, the quarterback, Jack Meehan, on the carry for 4 yards. Outside linebacker, number 22, Dylan Ibbotson. Your cornerbacks tonight, number 26, Christian Schneelock, and number 17, Sean Keast. At the safety spot, Gimblett 24, and number 12, Matt Tomaselli.
All right, Tom, this is where you want to kind of watch those edges. You don't want to let these guys outside because they'll start running outside in another couple plays here.
Meehan pitches to Shaker, and he is hit at the line and met by a couple of Panthers, pushed backwards for a short gain, 3rd down. Well, Meehan has been the bulk of their offense. I mean, he's 6'1", 190 pounds, senior captain, 20 of 30 through the air, 394 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he's also rushed 87 times for 536 yards and 7 touchdowns. So he's like 60%, 70% of their offense.
And he's a dual threat, and he can throw the ball. I mean, he can throw the ball deep, and he's very accurate.
So 3rd down and 5 for the Raiders. And Meehan rolls out to his right, dumps it out on the flat to Gagliardi. And he picks up enough for the 1st down at the Raider 34-yard line.
You got to watch out for that. Now, he has his backs. They're in that double wing there, and he will send his backs out a lot of times as receivers. He'll send them out short sometimes like that into the flats, but he will also send some of these kids deep. And when he does, they're pretty effective.
6 minutes and 46 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Panthers up 6-0. Meehan under center. A double pitch this time to Shaker, but he is wrapped up and pushed backwards. Number 17, Sean Keast, in the middle of that pack. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11.
Another guy to watch on this offense besides Shaker and Meehan is Brandon is it Medeiros, and he's number 29. He sits there as one of those backs, but he's an excellent receiver. He gets downfield. He runs some pretty good routes.
He's caught 7 passes for 112 yards and a touchdown. So 2nd down and 12. Meehan rolls out, looks downfield, has to throw it away, incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down 11.
And if that was a sack, that would be a coverage sack because the Holliston defensive backs did a really nice job. They've played incredibly well, Tom, those defensive backs, and some of those kids are pretty young, and they've done a really, really nice job.
Well, last week against Ashland, Holliston winning 48-0, 354 yards of offense, 300 on the ground. Touchdowns from Ibbotson had 2, Benson and Tomaselli with touchdowns, but Holliston also had 2 defensive scores, a 63-yard interception return by Christian Schneelock for a pick 6, and then a scoop and score 30 yards out by Gimblett.
Well,
in the words of the immortal new voice of the Panthers, Jack Harper, holy Holliston.
Jack Harper going down in infamy already. It's just been a few weeks.
So 3rd and 11 for the Raiders. Meehan back in the pocket. He's looking to set up the screen, but I think the Holliston Panthers had a piece of the Raider playbook right there, Jay.
David Harding played that perfectly. How many times do we talk about this? When you get in there, if you can't get to the quarterback, you get those hands up. And what he made Meehan do was that was a timing play, timing screen pass. He made Meehan have to pull the ball back and give it on a second try, and the play had broken down by then. Great job by David Harding.
So 4th down and 11 will force the Raiders to punt. Gimblett drops back to his own 38. Shaker with the kick, sort of angles it out of bounds, drops at the 45, and it rolls back to the Panther 40. And with 5 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Panthers will start their second offensive drive.
Well, they really didn't have a drive. They had a play.
Somerset coach Nick Freitas had this to say about the Panthers. He says they have skilled players. They have size. They're legit. We're going to have to take advantage of any mistakes when they occur. We're going to have to capitalize on drives on offense and defend them the best we can.
Well, Nick Freitas is a good coach. He knows what's going on, and he knows that I'm sure he saw what Holliston did to Ashland, and he saw those films and probably wondered how he's going to be able to stop this juggernaut.
Ratcliffe in motion. Arbonitis fakes it to Benson, rolls out to the right. He's got a lot of room in front of him, and quickly out of bounds after a 13-yard gain. And we got a flag on the play.
Maybe get hit out of bounds. Let's see.
Starting offense for the Panthers. Number 72, Scott Elliott. Number 57, Will Crowley. Number 50, Sam Lynch. Number 55, Zach Athey. Number 54, center Ryan Burchard up front. Your receivers, number 5, Anthony DeZindelet. Number 13, Teddy Ratcliffe. Number 2, Billy Nash.
There's a block block in the back by Holliston.
Tight end, number 10, junior Topher Ryan. And then, as we mentioned, Benson and Arbonitis in the backfield. So it'll be 1st down and 9 as it's a spot foul against the Panthers.
And this is another night out of the spread. When Holliston's in the spread, Topher Ryan's going to be available, and he had a heck of a game a couple of weeks ago.
Number 4, Connor Mulvaney in at tight end. Nash and DeZindelet split to the left. Handoff is to Benson. He's forward for a couple of yards, 2nd down. Tristan Benson on the year, he's rushed 80 times for 622 yards, a 7.8 average. And he just scored his 7th touchdown of the season on the first play by the Panthers.
4:50 left to go in the first quarter. Holliston up 6-0.
So 2nd down and 8 after the Benson run. Mulvaney in motion. Arbonitis rolls to his left, looking downfield. He tucks the ball and takes a hit as he's pushed out of bounds, but a late hit by Somerset-Berkley.
I'd like to be a quarterback coming around the end like that, and you got big 72, Scott Elliott out in front of you. He just demolished some player and give you an opportunity to pick up more yardage.
So a dead ball foul, personal foul, unnecessary roughness against the Raiders is going to give the Panthers a 1st down. Arbonitis gained about 3 yards on the play before the penalty. So Holliston will have the ball at the Raider 39-yard line. 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the first quarter.
This is nice. If you get kind of a different kind of play, maybe a pass play, this is the perfect time to do it right here. First down.
Dylan Ibbotson comes in at the running back spot, number 22. Dezindelet to the right with Topher Ryan. And we got a timeout on the field against Somerset-Berkley. So 4:33 to go in the first quarter. And the Panthers have moved into Somerset territory. Arvanitis on the keeper. It's Ibbotson actually with the ball, and he's down inside the 5.
Well, Tom, I don't blame you for that one because
I get one a game where Matt Arvanitis fools me. What a fake.
He does fake. I mean, he does a great job following through the fake, following through. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks will stop right there, but he kept running with the ball.
So Ibbotson with a 38-yard gain. The Panthers will be first and goal at the 2, and they're going to war. Quarterback Matt Tomaselli, number 12. Pitches to Ibbotson, right side, touchdown, Panthers, Dylan Ibbotson.
You got to attack that defensive line with your offensive line. That's your power against their probably the weakest part of their defense. And Holliston's done it 3 or 4 times here tonight. Has been very successful at it, and I think you're going to see that a lot more. 12-0, Holliston, 3:55 left to go in the first quarter, and Holliston's going to go for 2.
Looks like they're going to attempt to go for 2 here as Arvanitis is out there. So they got the spread offense. Mulvaney and Topher Ryan to the right. Dezindelet with Nash in the slot. Nash in motion. They hand off to him on the jet play.
Oh, what a cut.
Number 2's in for the score.
What a cut by Billy Nash. He came in. It's almost illegal to be that fast and be able to make a cut on a dime just like Billy Nash just did there. 14-0 Holliston, 3:55 left to go in the first quarter, and right now it's going all the way of the Panthers.
So Ibbotson from 2 yards out scores his 7th touchdown of the season, the 12th of his Panther career. And Holliston, after the 2-point conversion by Nash, is up 14-0.
You know what's interesting, Tom, is we do a lot. We go back and forth, but there's a lot of us involved, and we have this email thing of trying to figure out who these other teams played and how well they did and everything, because we just really don't know what it's like down there in the southeastern part of the state. We don't really have a lot of comparative scores or anything we can go by, but we did see some game film, and we thought that that's where they would attack the center of this defensive line.
Del Ponte's kick skips off of the hands, and now Robideau is just buried under by Panthers. And the Raiders are going to start back on their own 22-yard line. Well, I mentioned that Somerset, one of 5 schools. Can you name the other 4 schools that the Panthers do not have a winning record against?
I know Westwood.
Westwood, they are 22-33-1.
Concord Carlisle?
No, Lincoln Sudbury.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
3-6-1.
Auburn?
Wayland 2-4, 2-7, and another Hockomock team.
Foxborough?
Sharon. They are
Sharon.
0-5 to the Sharon Golden Eagles. On first down, Meehan keeps it himself, but the Panthers stack him up. Connor Mulvaney and Elliott in the middle of that pile.
See, they're playing this perfectly, Tom. What they're doing is they're not allowing, they're forcing all the run up the middle. They're trying to go up the middle. They're not going to win that battle up the middle. You know, they might have a run here or a run there that does pretty good or pretty well, but they're not going to win that battle. They've got to get to the outside. That's where their strength is. And Meehan and Shaker have got to get to the outside. I mean, they got another good running back, Solizano, who's pretty decent runner who has a little power that maybe he can do a little damage to the middle. But
number 56, Ryan Cahill, and number 78, Gabe Maderos check in for the Panthers up front. And on second down, a gain of 1, 3rd down and 8.
Well, you know the old Jim Croce song, you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind. Well, you also don't run plays right at Scott Elliott. I mean, that's just not. It's
Well,
just not
Elliott's not in right now.
No, I know, but in that,
yes,
in that
the first down.
Yeah.
Play. So 3rd down and long. We've seen seen Meehan roll to the right a few times.
3rd and 8.
Now this, I will be shocked if this is not a pass play.
Meehan hit. It pitches in the backfield, but Connor Mulvaney blew that play up. Number 4, the junior middle linebacker.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going. I mean, you're going to have to go to your spread offense, and you're going to have to, throw the ball. They're just not going to get anywhere running like this.
Well, the little bit of film we saw, they are pretty creative, but
They are very creative.
But the Panthers are really hitting those gaps hard, being very aggressive. Now, maybe Somerset-Berkley can draw the Panthers in a little bit and go over the top, like you said.
Well, maybe, but if they don't hurry up and do it, it's not going to matter. I mean, you've got to get out here. This is a playoff game. You don't have the opportunity to take a lot of time.
Gimblett back to receive the punt, but it takes a Panther bounce at the 33, and it's down at the 30. And Holliston's going to have great field position with 1:14 to go in the first quarter, leading 14-0.
But you're right, and I thought one of the things that Coach Freitas would do tonight would be use some of those reverses and some play because they're running that offense with the quarterback under center. We saw a lot of times they're running that same offense with the quarterback in a shotgun or a pistol position. And if he did that, at least he can look over the field and see something, make some choices or have some options. But doing what he's doing now, I kind of don't understand it, but we'll take it.
Arvanitis with Benson in the backfield. Pitches out to his right, catch by DeZindelet. A flag flies, and DeZindelet is all the way inside the 10 with a Panther first down. Let's see what the penalty is.
Blocking the back, Holliston.
Sometimes that happens on that bubble screen right there.
We've talked about this a lot with Holliston, with a lot of the emotion stuff and people going different ways and stuff. And a lot of times the defensive player will make a move that an offensive blocker doesn't expect him to make. He turns his back, and you're going for the to make the block, and he has his back to you, and results in a block in the back, obviously. 1:04 left to go in the first quarter. Holliston up 14-0 with the ball. First and a lot.
Coach Kiley signals in the play. DeZindelet and Topher Ryan to the right. Nash and Ratcliffe to the left. Arvanitis back in the pocket, fires across the middle, looking for Ratcliffe. Looks like he had a step there, just overthrown. It'll be 2nd down and 20.
Now, one of the things that Somerset is doing now to get to Arvanitis and to give that defensive line a little help is they're bringing their linebackers in a little bit, and that gets a little dangerous for them because now you got passing lanes there. And once again, I'll tell you that Topher Ryan going across the field on a slant pattern, he was pretty open.
Same formation. Benson alone back. Arvanitis straight drop. Fires off the hands of DeZindelet, and it's intercepted. And so the Panthers with the first turnover of the game.
Well, that'll happen sometimes. You receive, you get out there, and ball's coming to you. You just miss it. Sometimes that happens, and fortunately for Somerset, they were there with someone to catch the ball, and they were able to make the interception with 24 seconds left and get the ball right back.
We did hear from the truck before the game that the game time kickoff temperature 38 degrees here. It is the coldest game of the year so far.
Well, the other thing that does is when it gets cold, that if you've ever caught a football thrown at you, if it gets cold, it gets a little slippery, and that can happen. You can lose that ball right through your hands pretty quickly, pretty easily.
Gagliardi on the run attempt. 2nd down and 9 for the Raiders.
And that'll be the quarter.
And so at the end of the first quarter, the Panthers lead the Raiders 14-0, and it's time for the HollistonFootball.com Players of the Week. HollistonFootball.com, all Panthers all the time. Andrea Murphy doing a great job as the website coach. And the Player of the Week last week versus Ashland, Jay. Did you check that out?
Christian Schneelock. That's
right. That 66-yard interception return, pick 6. And when I watched the film, the highlight film, number 51, David Harding, was downfield to give him a great block that sprung him. Schneelock's first touchdown of the season, and I tell you, it was a highlight film return right there. Also on the alumni side, and on the website, there's a little section for alumni players. It was the Athey Bowl. As Bentley faced Stonehill, it was Nick for the Bentley Falcons with 4 tackles, and his younger brother Sam on the Stonehill team had 7 tackles, but Bentley came away with a 38-10 win. Paul Athey was saying what a great day for the whole family, as they just were all able to go and watch both both defenses.
It's a great day for almost the whole family.
Yes.
Probably not so much for Sam. By the way, you mentioned Andrea Murphy, the president of Holliston Football, and I ran into her the other day, and she told me that this week it was Coach Murph's birthday this past week. Oh. So I want to wish you a happy birthday. Now, I know how old he is. I'm not going to say.
No.
I do know how old he is, though, and happy birthday, Coach Murph.
All right, 2nd down and 9 for the Raiders. Meehan under center, and he takes it forward on a quarterback sneak. And no gain on the play for Meehan. 3rd down and 9 as we start the second quarter.
It's really baffling to me. I know this isn't the reason, but it's almost like they're saying, okay, we'll just try and run out as much as the clock, and then we'll kick it back. I mean, they got to have a play here somewhere where there's some kind of a breakout where, throw a pass or something.
So it's 3rd down.
And this may be that play because it's taking a lot of time to explain the play to the quarterback.
Actually, they gave him 2 yards on the play, so it's 3rd down and 7. Thank you for joining us. We're really excited about our Facebook Live community, and we're glad you could join us to watch the game live here from Comedian Field. 3rd down for the Raiders.
Oh, double man in motion. This is coming back.
Pitches it to Shaker, but he is wrestled out of bounds.
And it won't need to come back. Holliston will decline the penalty. It was 2 men in motion there.
Mulvaney on the tackle. So that's declined. That's going to bring up a 4th down and more than 10 yards and should force the Raiders to punt again.
Well, I'll just say it one last time. I'm really stunned that they're just staying in that offense and just trying to do something with that, Tom.
It could have something to do with the Panther defense, Jay.
Well, yeah, but okay, so what's the definition of insanity? I mean, you keep doing something over and over and over again, and you're getting the same result here. And it's not like they don't have talent. I mean, Meehan is really talented. He can throw the ball, and they got receivers and good runners. I'm really surprised.
Gimblett back to receive the punt.
Ooh,
Shaker's punt bounces at the 41. Oh, then kicked inadvertently by the Panthers, but quickly recovered by Holliston. Nice job there. Number 26, Christian Schneelock, sort of came out of nowhere to fall on that punt. It could have been very dangerous for another turnover.
It could have been, and you know, we've talked about this in the past, that they yell out poison or whatever they yell out. You run away from the ball. Why would you know, if you don't know where the ball is, and run way off to the side because you know it's not over there. But
I think he might have been engaged with a block on the play. It sort of bounced backwards at the last second. But needless to say, Panthers 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line with 9:20 to go in the first half. Arvanitis, handoff to Benson, right side. Number 21, very close to a first down.
What you see in a play like that, Tom, is, you know, those Holliston offensive linemen, they not only took care of the front defensive line, they came up and made some nice blocks, and those linebackers held their blocks and allowed the first down to occur for Holliston.
Well, that's the calling card of this Panther team, is their offensive line. So 1st and 10 at midfield for the Panthers. Handoff to Benson off the left side. Gain of 6. Second down and 4 for Holliston.
8:35 clock running. 14-0 Holliston in the lead. They're with the ball and they're marching. Second down and fairly short. This is a kind of an opportunity for Holliston to open the playbook a little bit if they want. See what Coach Kiley calls here.
Dylan Ibbotson, number 22, in at the running back spot. Arvanitis, straight drop, and is hit and dropped by number 44 on the blitz.
Bryce Garrettson came through. He did a very nice job. You know, it's hard to get a hold of Matt. You know, Arvanitis, the quarterback, he's pretty nimble back there, but I think he was just ready to set up, and Garrettson came out of nowhere and got the tackle.
So 3rd down and 15. 7 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the first half.
In this, you know, even though they're on their own side of the field, this may be 2-down territory, depending on how much yardage you get here.
Arvanitis in the pocket, down the middle, intercepted by the Raiders. And finally tackled by number 55, Zach Athey. And Panthers not happy with another turnover.
Well, this is second turnover, and they almost had 3 turnovers. They're still up 14-0 with 7:06 left in the half, but you can't keep doing that either.
Panther defense has been outstanding and offense outstanding, as Holliston has outscored its opponents in the first half 159-6. Norwood being the only team that has scored on the Panthers in the first quarter so far this season. Meehan under center. Pitches to Gagliardi, number 32. And he finds a little seam and crosses the 50-yard line to the 48. Second down and 4 for Somerset-Berkley.
Holliston closing in on that defensively. They got a few yards there, but Holliston was able to fight off the penetration.
Again, a pitch to Gagliardi, but
Harding
and Ibbotson hit him right in the backfield, so a loss on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
I'll tell you how fast David Harding got in on that one. If he was one step closer, he would have had the handoff. Boy, oh boy, did he get in there.
And I think Ibbotson was coming from the far side, so good pressure by Holliston right there.
So they're not just reading and reacting either. Holliston is coming after him. Big 3rd down here for
Actually, they mark
Somerset?
it at they mark it at the 49, so it's a 3rd and 6. Meehan under center. Pitch to Shaker, and he's hit in the backfield by Keast. And so number 17 with the tackle for a loss.
Well,
Sean, at 4th down and 7.
Sean Keast was there, but I also think Ryan Cahill was right there with him and got down low and made a nice form tackle. So nice job by those two. Bring up a 4th down, and let's see what happens here. 5 minutes to go in the half, and the clock's still running. They're giving information to both me and Shaker. So Shaker must have some kind of an option off of this, number 7.
Oh, that's Solorzano.
Oh, Solorzano, I mean, sorry.
Meehan rolls right, fires deep, looking for Shaker, overthrown, it's incomplete, and the Panthers will take over on downs at midfield. So a break for Holliston after the interception. And with 4 minutes and 33 seconds, there's plenty of time on the clock for Holliston.
Well, let's see if Holliston comes back with the spread offense or if they go to war for a little change-up type of an offense here.
You know, you mentioned that the Panthers are young, and on offense, only 5 senior starters, 3 juniors and 3 sophomores out there for Holliston. On defense, 4 seniors, 5 juniors, and 2 sophomores. So a good mix of the classes has been a recipe for success so far for Holliston. Ratcliffe and Ryan to the right, Nash and DeZindelet to the left of the formation. Arvanitis on the handoff to Benson, but he's caught in the backfield for a loss of 2.
One of the things, you know, with Matt, you know, had threw the 2 interceptions, but as I said earlier in the start of the game, that's where their playmakers are. They have a lot of talent in this defensive backfield, just like they do in the offensive backfield. A lot of talented, athletic kids.
2nd and 12. Handoff to Benson. Heads towards the Panther bench, pushed out of bounds, but I think he's close to a first down. Let's see where they spot the ball. And they are going to call it 3rd down and 1 with 4 minutes even left in this first half.
Tristan Benson running hard again tonight. He's had a heck of a year, the sophomore.
Out comes number 12, Matt Tomaselli, number 58, Rob Quinzani. Zach Athey moves back to the fullback spot. They pitch to Ibbotson, works his way along the right side, keeps his feet, and plays to the whistle for a gain of 7. And a Holliston first down.
You know, you pull Zach Athey out of that offensive line and you put him as a blocking back there. And he just really threw a block that sprung the play right there.
I mean, I kind of don't want to call him a mini fridge, but
no.
I can safely from the booth, you know. It's a 1st down and 10 for the Panthers at the Raider 32-yard line. DeZindelet in motion. Arvanitis rolling left. He's chased and stopped short of getting out of bounds, so the clock's still running.
And they do that. And see, that's what I mean, Tom, about that. You know, you can attack the middle of that defense, but that defense on the outsides is really pretty strong. They do a pretty nice job of stringing the play out and, you know, sometime coming up and containing, and then those backs and those safeties and D-backs will come up and make the tackle. They really play that the sweeps very, very well.
Loss of 3 on that sweep attempt. Arvanitis with Ibbotson behind him. DeZindelet steps back to the I-back spot. Arvanitis takes it himself. He's across the 30 to the 29.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Gain of 4.
I'm not sure that was really intended for him to take it himself. Matt just kind of turned around and nobody took the handoff.
When in doubt, go forward.
Yeah, and he did. He picked up, what, 5 or 6 yards there?
Gain of 5, so it'll be 3rd down and 8.
2 down territory for Holliston, so you don't have to get it all here.
2 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the first half. Holliston would like to get another score. Dezindelet in motion. Fake to Benson. Arvanitis rolls. Little dump pass to Connor Mulvaney, number 4. And that's going to be close to a first down. Let's see where they mark it. And it is a Panther first down.
Clock will start running once they set those chains, I believe. Did he go out of bounds? Nope. The clock is running. 1:50 left to go in the first half. Plenty of time, plenty of timeout, so that's not an issue at all for Holliston. In fact, what they'd like to do is just let that clock run out and score a touchdown.
Ball at the Somerset 21-yard line, and we got a timeout. Somerset with 1:35 to go in the first half. Panthers leading 14-0. First and 10 for the Panthers. Nash and Dezindelet to the left. Mulvaney in motion to the right. Handoff to Benson. He's got a short gain, and we got a timeout on the field with 1:30 to go. This one taken by Holliston. Arvanitis. Handoff to Benson. Turns the left side, puts down a shoulder, and it keeps going. And finally pushed out of bounds, but he's got enough for a Holliston first down and stops the clock with 1:20 to go.
Nicely done. You save timeouts, which it doesn't look like they're going to need here. Maybe they'll call timeouts if Somerset gets the ball back on a kickoff. But Holliston right now is just really moving down the field. Benson's having himself a heck of a night.
So first and goal from the 5-yard line. Topher Ryan lines up as the tight end to the right. Radcliffe, the right wing back, he's in motion. Handoff to Benson. Stopped just short of the goal line. Clock running with 1:10 to go in the first half.
Yeah, they'll let this run down. If they want to send in, if they don't score in this play, they may send in the war offense.
Second and goal from the 2. Handoff to Benson again. He's got plenty of room. Touchdown, Holliston! Tristan Benson.
That's just all offensive line what that is, and the great running of Tristan Benson. I mean, they're giving Tristan some big holes, and, it's great to have those big holes, but you also got to take advantage of them. And right now, Tristan is doing absolutely that. With 52 seconds left, Holliston leads 20-0, and they're going for the extra point right now.
Del Ponte sets up for the kick. Tomaselli snap, the Gary hold, and the kick is up and good. And the Panthers with a 21-0 lead with 52 seconds to go in the first half. Tristan Benson, his 8th touchdown of the season, the 2nd of this game, and the 11th of his Panther career. And Holliston's finally up by a 3-score margin in the first half.
Yeah, and right now, Tom, this is a very, very interesting part of this game, believe it or not. With 52 seconds left, what you don't want to do is let them score, because if they don't score here and you go in 21-0, then you get the ball back at the start off the second half. You're going to put yourself in pretty good shape. But what you don't want to do is let them go in with any kind of momentum. So this is really important. Even though there's only 52 seconds left, as I said, you don't want to let them score here.
Well, Holliston has stopped 5 of their 6 opponents from scoring in the first half, and they're 52 seconds away from stopping their 6th opponent from scoring in the first half. Del Ponte punches the ball, bounces around to Shaker back at the 22. Mitch Gimblett on the hit. And the Raiders are going to be back at their own 20. Look, they're going to mark it at the 23-yard line.
Well, let's see if Coach Freitas comes out and opens it up a little bit. He did throw a pass the last time out, so maybe he's going to start opening up, but I think you kind of got her here.
Meehan, inside handoff to Shaker, and he is grabbed and thrown down by number 77, Chris O'Connell.
Well,
And Holliston calls a timeout with 42 seconds to go. So loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13 for the Raiders. Meehan on the turnaround tries to keep it himself, but he is summarily pushed backwards. Forward momentum maybe to the line of scrimmage.
yeah, another quick timeout by Holliston. There's still 34 seconds left. They've knocked 8 seconds off the clock here in 2 plays, and they stop them here with a timeout. Holliston's going to get the ball back. And the way that Somerset's been punting, they'll probably get an opportunity to get the ball back in pretty good shape if they keep them back here.
Again, tight formation, no split ends at all. Meehan rolls out, fires deep, incomplete, and that stops the clock with 27 seconds to go and brings up 4th down and 13 for Somerset-Berkley.
Offsides, Holliston.
A penalty against the Panthers. So they'll do 3rd down again. It'll be 3rd and 8. Looked like Holliston had great coverage. There was just one receiver that downfield. Looked like Holliston had triple coverage on him.
Yeah, and I think either the inflection in quarterback Meehan's voice or whatever, just because that whole offensive line seemed to take a step forward. The other thing is, if you watch their backs on the wings, it seems like they're kind of tipping their plays a little bit. Whenever it looks like whoever's in motion, they go to the other guy.
Let's see what they do on 3rd and 8, and they pitch to Gagliardi. And he's tackled for a short gain, and Holliston's going to call a timeout with 20 seconds to go. But again, that's going to force a 4th down for Somerset-Berkley. Shaker to punt for Somerset-Berkley. Gimblett, the only receiver. Line drive punt. And Gimblett unable to scoop it up. And it's down by Somerset-Berkley at the 30-yard line.
Big mistake by Somerset-Berkley right there. They should have let that ball just keep rolling and let that time go off the clock. You've given Holliston now with a timeout. There's only 11 seconds left, but that's time to get maybe 2 passes if you have a timeout. So,
or one Benson 70-yard touchdown.
Or that, right. But you got to know as a special
Dylan
team,
Ibbotson 70-yard touchdown.
But you got to know as a special team player that you want that ball to just keep rolling. Let that clock go off. Why would you kill that?
Looks like the Panthers are just going to take a knee and run out the half because they're going to get the ball back. And that'll do it at the end of the first half in the Division V South quarterfinals here at Comedian Field. The Panthers head into the locker room with a 21-0 lead over the Somerset-Berkley Raiders. We'll be back with second half action in just a moment. The Panthers are back for the second half, leading 21-0. And some stats. Carlos Canto, our regular statistician, he's in the shop while he's at BC, his beloved BC Eagles playing tonight. But super sub, Steve Hedrick, with some head scratch at the halftime. And Tristan Benson, 9 rushes for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns, leads the Panthers. He was on the board first, an electrifying 61-yard touchdown with 8:37 to go in the first quarter. Dylan Ibbotson was the other main offensive star, 3 rushes for 47 yards. He scored a touchdown in the first quarter from 2 yards out. Panthers up 21-0 with 162 yards of offense. And by Super Steve's calculations, the Somerset-Berkley Raiders had 10 yards of offense. in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, that's really believable. They had a couple first downs that I can remember, and they had a lot of losses, so it could very easily be right. And, but that's the offense they want to run. That's what they want to do. And the result right now is that they're not doing very well. Now, Holliston, you come out here now, I want to say it's only 21-0. Holliston gets the ball back, so you'd like to be up at least 4 possessions going into the fourth quarter, if possible. But they can't let this team back up. I will tell you, in spite of what you've seen so far, this team can score. They have a quarterback who can throw the ball way down the field very accurately, and they have backs that can get outside and do some damage. So you're going to have to keep playing that defense. And the other thing is, it's going to be interesting to see if and when Coach Kiley goes to his war offense to, eat up some clock and march downfield and get some more points.
The winner of this game will face the winner of Scituate and Dennis Yarmouth. They are in Scituate tonight, and currently the Dennis Yarmouth Dolphins are leading that game 20-13 at the half. The other bracket in Division 5 South is Falmouth and Foxborough down at Falmouth tonight, and the Clippers are beating the Warriors 22-14 as they've scored with 6 minutes to go in the game. The other quarterfinal in Division 5 South is Canton versus Hanover, and Canton with a 14-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. Other Tri-Valley League playoff games, the Ashland Clockers 14-0 over Dover Sherburne at the half. The Medway Mustangs in their first playoff game ever, I'll say it again, ever, since the playoffs started in '72. We are 2018. The Medway Mustangs are beating the Norwell team 18-0 at the half. Dedham over Apponequet 27-7 at the end of the third quarter, and the Hopkinton Hillers in Division 4 South are 14-0 over Nauset.
Well, if those scores hold, that means that Medway will be going to Ashland next week for a second round game in Division 6.
Right. Well, there are 4 good teams from the Tri-Valley League in that Division 6 South.
So what are we going to look for coming out here now? I've got to believe that Somerset-Berkley is going to open up. Of course, Holliston gets the ball first. And if they can get down and score, it's going to be an awful big hill for Somerset to climb. So they are going to have to open it up, because doing what they did, they're just not going to be able to score many, if even any, points, running the ball right up the middle like they were doing.
Pulling out the Holliston history record book, with a companion to the 821-page tome by Ken Dunn on Holliston Panther history. I did say on a previous broadcast that Matt Arvanitis was the first Panther quarterback to throw 3 touchdowns in a game 2 times or more to 2 different receivers, that being Topher Ryan and Anthony DeZindelet, but it's actually the second time it happened. I found out deep in the book, 1972, Tony Matchek threw 3 to Donnie Peterson and also Gary Peter Kuski.
Well, a couple big names from the Holliston past.
Yes, very, very big tight ends for Holliston. So Somerset-Berkley to kick off for the first time tonight to start the second half. Nash, and a line drive kick is covered up by number 54, Ryan Burchard. And what a pair of hands on that big guy out there.
And you wonder if that was supposed to be an onside kick.
I think he wanted to take it to the house.
Yeah.
I think we'll call that one the first official entry of the Matt Mealy Running Lineman Award.
All right, mark it down. Mark it down.
He was going to take it, but nice job by Ryan up in that first line. And he got his hands on that and smothered it really well. Arvanitis, 1st and 10, ball at the Panther 47-yard line. Arvanitis hands off to Dylan Ibbotson. He spins forward across the 50 to the 48 of Somerset-Berkley. Nice gain.
Now, I'm not sure if that was really supposed to be an onside kick or not. If it was, good credit for giving credit for trying, but the problem is you don't want to give Holliston a short field. That they've been pretty tough for Somerset-Berkley defense to handle.
So 2nd down and 4. Arvanitis with the handoff to Ibbotson and a nice press forward and a 1st down for Holliston. Looks like we are having some technical difficulties with our Facebook Live tonight. Apologize for that. I do not see it on my phone, Chris.
Clock running with coming up on 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Holliston with the 1st down, moving the ball.
Benson in at the running back spot. Ratcliffe in motion. Handoff to number 21. He's met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd down and 9. Well, they do give him a yard. 9 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Panthers on their opening drive of the 2nd half started at their own 45-yard line. Arvanitis turns around, hands it off to Benson. Left side, quickly across the 30 to the 25, and another Panther 1st down.
Nice job by Tristan Benson. What he did is he waited for the hole. The hole opened up. He ran the ball, got the tackler on top of him, took him a few yards, and was able to get a nice 1st down for Holliston. He's really, really running well tonight. As you said, he hit over 100 yards in the 1st half here tonight. And
Benson passed the 700-yard mark in the 1st half for his season. Just having a great year with Holliston.
And then he comes out, and then who goes in but Dylan Ibbotson? It's almost unfair.
21 and 22 have been a 1-2 punch for sure. And there's the handoff to Ibbotson, left side, drags one tackler, but he is got a nice gain, close to a 1st down.
Well, Dylan almost spun out of that tackle. He came around. He did a nice spin move, and I know his eyes must have opened wide when he saw the field open up. No one in front of him, but the nice job tackling there by Somerset player.
So 2nd down and 2 after the Ibbotson run.
2nd and short. It's a wide open playbook.
Billy Nash steps back to the tailback spot. And the handoff is to the up back, Ibbotson. He picked up 1, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
About a yard short of the 1st down. 3rd and 1.
Holliston just happy just to keep pounding the ball away, getting 1st downs on the ground, eating up some clock.
So Nash and Ratcliffe to the left. Ryan and DeZindelet to the right. Benson the back. Ratcliffe in motion. Handoff to Benson. Hits the middle. Bounces it to the right. Touchdown, Panthers! Tristan Benson!
Again, it's that middle of the defensive line, and that middle of the offensive line is really controlling them, opening up some holes, and they're also getting to the 2nd level, the Holliston offensive line is, and they're able to make those blocks on those linebackers, and it frees up Benson, and he's doing a really nice job tonight, as he has all season long, reading his blockers, waiting for that hole to open, and then just exploding through it. And with his speed and his strength, he's just pretty unstoppable tonight.
Del Ponte lines up for the extra point.
The extra point
The snap from Tomaselli, the hold by Brian Gary, and it is good. And with 6 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the third quarter, the Panthers score on their first drive of the second half. It's 28-0. Holliston, Tristan Benson with his third touchdown of the game, 9th of the 2018 season, and the 12th of his Panther career. Another three, Jay. Talked about the threes. He becomes the 4th different Panther this season to score 3 touchdowns. DeZindelet, Topher Ryan, Billy Nash, and now Tristan Benson.
And there's more to come. That was, by the way, that was a nice play by Del Ponte and Gary there. The timing was a little bit off, and Gary did a nice job getting that ball down just as Del Ponte had to check himself for a split second, came in and made the kick, made it 28-0. 6:53 left to go in the third quarter.
Line drive kick by Del Ponte, picked up by Robideau at the 15. And he is tackled at the 30-yard line. Well, Andrew Del Ponte in just 3 games has now kicked 13 extra points, and that moves him out of a tie for 21st all-time on the extra point roster. He was tied with Joe Evans, 1975, and Ed DeVito from 1997.
There you go. You get that stat book, and you're just
I
going
love
nuts.
that stat book. Pitch by Meehan. I think that was number 32, Gagliardi. Gain of 2. Well, the stat book and the history book, Jay, I know it's not Christmas time yet, thinking about filling my stocking, but down at Fisk General Store, both are available for sale or on Amazon.com. You can look them up. Nice little Christmas
the way it
present
works
for the Panther fan in your life.
Sure, the way it works, you get the big
Cheryl
book.
probably wants her own copy.
I'm sure she does.
Meehan on 2nd and 8 to Shaker. He's across the 35 to the 37. Bringing up a 3rd down and 3.
Clock running, coming up on 5:45 left to go in the third quarter.
Sam Carell, number 59, checks in at defensive end.
This is where you can see the Holliston defense get a little aggressive here, see if they can come after Meehan, because probably, I'm guessing, I've been wrong all night, this will be a pass.
Meehan pitches it to Shaker.
And it's not a pass.
And he is stopped for no gain, or a gain of 1, 4th down and 2, a long 2. This committee and field crowds enjoying this 28-0 win here on a very chilly October night. We're down to 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the third quarter. And it looks Somerset-Berkley down by 4 scores is going to go for it on 4th and 2. Meehan pitches it back to Shaker. Up come the Panthers, and he is stopped for no gain. I think he needed to make it to the 40.
That's first down, Holliston.
Let's see, they put the ball right on the 40.
They gave them that? Oh, wow.
I think that was a great spot, and they're actually going to bring out the chain gang. That was a tremendous spot that they gave the Raiders. But it is just a few inches short. And it's Holliston ball. So the defense holds, and the Panthers take over on downs with 4:37 to go, leading 28-0 in the third quarter.
Oh, they get the ball again on a short field. How many guys have scored 4 touchdowns in Holliston history in one game?
I know how many have scored 6. Just one.
Yeah. You are
Zach
remarkable.
Elkinson. I know how many have scored 5 in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Zach Elkinson.
Everyone in the state knows that.
I don't have the book actually here in the book in the booth because I'm afraid somebody might take it.
Because everyone says how smart they think you are, but really you're just getting that stuff out of a book, right?
Yeah, well, you got to look it up. You got to be able to read.
Matt Tomaselli in a quarterback.
Number 12 with Benson at the running back spot. Ratcliffe goes to the third back. Handoff to Benson in the up back. He spins and is finally tackled. A gain of 3 on the play.
Interesting. We usually see Matt Tomaselli come out and play quarterback in the war, but this is a good opportunity to give him some work with the front team here.
Well, Matt Tomaselli, a little Swiss Army knife for the Panthers. He came on board as the long snapper last year, and then we've seen him in the war offense, and then he also was playing at free safety for Holliston. Fakes it to Benson and tucks it. Number 12's got some room. Makes a move. Pops, the ball popped out, but it's going to be Holliston ball inside the 10-yard line. Tomaselli saw green and was going for it.
You know, Matt's a good athlete, and the other thing is Matt can throw the ball. Matt is a good passer. We saw him in passing camp down there, and he really can throw the ball. He does a nice job of it. I thought he was going to throw it there, but he saw an opening and thought the better of it, pulled it down, and made a nice gain.
So they marked the ball at the 10-yard line. First and goal, Holliston.
Clock running, 3:25 left to go in the third quarter.
Tomaselli with Ibbotson behind him. Ratcliffe in motion. Handoff to Ibbotson. Drags a couple of Raiders to the 5-yard line. Nice hard running by number 22. Have come to expect nothing else from him. Ibbotson with, coming into this game, 500 career yards for Holliston.
And he's had some tough career yards too. He's done a lot of battling with his yards. You know, good runner, strong kid, and a really, really fine blocker.
Down to 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ratcliffe back in motion. Ball's on the carpet. And let's see where they mark it. There was a mix-up on that exchange.
Did Holliston come out? They did come up with the ball.
Looked like Tomaselli was able to get on top of that ball. Now a loss of 4 on the play will bring up a 3rd down and goal from the 9.
So maybe we will see Matt Tomaselli throw the ball tonight.
Ball's on the left hash mark. So DeZindelet split to the right, the wide side of the field. Benson in at the back. Ratcliffe and Nash to the left. The handoff to Benson. Touchdown, Panthers! Tristan Benson!
Well, that answers part of the question. Who scored 4 touchdowns in one game?
Number 21 has in this game. The Panthers go up 34-0.
You know, when you got that offensive line, you know, we both talked about it tonight, and you said it rightly so, Tom. That offensive line is really the key of this ball club. You know, who else gets a 3rd down like that and doesn't throw the ball and just runs it right in? They're just really an amazing offensive line.
Del Ponte's kick is strong and good. And with 1, 2, 3, a minute 23 to go in the third quarter, Holliston is blowing this game up 35-0 over the Somerset-Berkley Raiders. And Tristan Benson has been the story on the ground. Mr. Clutch, 4 touchdowns. He's now got 13, and lucky 13, in his illustrious 2-year Panther career.
Well, you know, he's a good runner. I've said in the past, he runs what I call violently. You know, he's powerful, strong, fast, and quick, and he makes his moves with power, and that's what I mean by violently. You know, he doesn't just stop on a dime and go. He stops on a dime and plows ahead, and he's got tremendous speed. And the other thing he has that also Dylan Nivenson has, that all the great ones have, is really good balance.
Del Ponte's line drive kick taken at the 25 by Robideau, chased backwards by Mitch Gimblett, and he is tackled all the way back at the 20-yard line. Gimblett was trying to pry that ball out.
I was just going to say that. He saw that ball, and he wanted it, you know.
They give Robideau forward progress. Well, getting back to Tristan Benson, now he's just a sophomore. We're here with Holliston, but in June, when Holliston does their preseason workouts and stuff like that, Tristan Benson and Will Crowley were the 2 workout champions.
Right.
So
well,
shows how much dedication you put in. We hear it all the time. It's off season, leads to that great conditioning, and that's what shows up on the field.
And look, with Holliston, that's where games are won or lost, and that's where championships are won, is in the off season. You know, everybody plays in the regular season, but who really wants it more? Who gets in there in the weight room, and who gets up early in the morning and runs and swims or whatever it is you have to do in order to get yourself up to a championship mode. And the other thing is, Tom, it doesn't take 1 or 2 guys to do that. It takes the whole team. You get these guys out here, your captains and some of your better players, they come out and they're doing it, then the other kids are going to feel they have to do it too. And that's what happens in Holliston. I don't care what grade you're in or what age you are. If you want to play football here, you come out, you work hard, you get to play, and you get to have some fun, and you get to make the playoffs and play in games, and then with 20 seconds left in the third quarter, end up being 35-0.
2nd and 7. Meehan to Shaker. It's 3rd down. And that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. The Panthers all over the Somerset-Berkley Raiders, 35-0 in this Division 5 South quarterfinal match. And it's time for This Week in Holliston Football History. What do you got for us, Jay?
All right. The first time Holliston played Somerset was in 1992. Holliston opened the season 3-0 in the middle of a 9-game winning streak. Holliston had a very strong defense who gave up only 18 points in the first 5 games of that season. In this game against Somerset, the defense was led by captains Jason Fair and Joe Gallagher, and Brian Brockney, Steve Southard, Brian Kittredge, and Tom Carter. Holliston scored first in the first play of the second quarter on a quarterback Rob Crowley's 1-yard plunge. Holliston's second score came on a 35-yard Jess Hunter field goal. In the beginning of the second half, Rob Crowley hit Sean Godfrey with a 60-yard TD pass to make the score 17-0. And then early in the fourth quarter, Tom Ruthier intercepted a pass at the Somerset 34, ran it all the way back for a touchdown. Final score, Holliston 24, Somerset nothing. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Well, the thing, speaking of records, I've been keeping track of the records against each opponent. And Tristan Benson, going over the 117 mark, has set the mark for most rushing yards against the Somerset-Berkley Raiders. Somerset converts on a 3rd down and 3 to the Raider 40-yard line.
Well, they get that first down. I think Is that the first down of the second half or them? I'm not sure, but clock is running.
Scituate has tied up the game with Dennis Yarmouth with 3:42 to play in the third quarter. Holliston will face the winner of that Scituate-Dennis Yarmouth game. Pitch to oh gosh, Gagliardi went back to Meehan, and Holliston had 5 players back there with a piece of Jake Meehan.
Yeah, what that is coaching. They knew something was going to happen there. They knew you get sometimes you get one kid who makes a really nice really nice decision and goes after the right guy. When you have 5 kids going there and reading that play and reacting to that play, that's just great coaching. This coaching staff, by the way, they'd spend hours watching films. And these kids came in and they were really prepared for this game.
McKay Crichton, number 8 in at linebacker, along with Brian Gary, number 14. Double handoff to Shaker, and he is hit straight away, straight up by number 56, Ryan Cahill. So after a couple of losses on the play, it's 3rd and 18 for Somerset-Berkley as we start the fourth quarter. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're back live. Panthers leading 35-0. Handoff to Gagliardi on the right side. He picks up 5 or 8 yards, but it's going to bring up 4th down and 10 for the Raiders.
Sure, and at this point, I'm sure if you're over there on the other side, you just say, okay, we might as well go for it. There's absolutely nothing to lose. See if we can get a touchdown and see if we can get a score out of this, and they're not. They're going to punt. Well, I couldn't coach that team. Whatever I say, they do the opposite. So, and they're a lot smarter than me, so that's okay. 7:55 clock running. 7:55 left in this ball game.
Gimblett back to receive the kick. High snap, pulled down by Shaker. Gimblett lets the ball bounce, and it takes a Panther bounce all the way to the 35-yard line, and that's where they'll start with 7:34 to go in the ball game. Panthers leading 35-0.
And the Panthers learned their lesson right there. You saw about 5 guys scrambling as fast as they could away from that ball. They wanted no part of hitting that ball.
Well, the scoring summary during the third quarter, we're not sure exactly how much of Facebook Live wasn't working, but Tristan Benson scored 2 touchdowns, one with 6:53 to go in the third quarter from 16 yards out, and his 4th of the ball game with 1:23 left in the third quarter from 9 yards out.
Well, you saw a lot of offense from Holliston and a lot of defensive domination from Holliston in the third quarter, so glad you guys are all back, and we thank you once again for watching on Facebook Live. And Holliston now sends out a bunch of new guys.
Let's see. Matt Tomaselli out at quarterback. I see number 14, Brian Gary, at wide receiver. Tomaselli on first down, hands it off to Grady St. John, number 20. He gets forward progress.
Grady
for a
had
gain
some,
of 2.
Yeah, he had some nice runs in Ashland against Ashland. And am I mistaken? Did he pick up something like 65 yards against Ashland? I thought he had quite a few yards in the second half against Ashland.
Grady St. John, 3 runs for 20 yards.
Oh, 20 yards. All right. I was looking at something else. Must have been 3 times 20.
That's right.
See how I get out of that? 6 minutes left to go in the ball game.
2nd and 8 for Holliston. Handoff to St. John. Keeps his feet left side. Looks like he made it to the 40-yard line for a gain of 2. That brings up a 3rd down and 5 for the Panthers. Number 53, Justin Baddock in the game, 77. Chris O'Connell in on the offensive line this time, 74. I don't have on my list.
I do not have him on mine either. Might be a freshman.
3rd down and 5. Tomaselli to pass, looks downfield. Open, number 13, Teddy Ratcliffe, and he's off to the races. Touchdown, Panthers!
Well, what did you call his brother? Was it Sudden Sam?
Sudden Sam Ratcliffe, and now we've got touchdown Teddy Ratcliffe here, the younger brother, but looming large now with a 45-yard touchdown pass from Matt Tomaselli. Panthers up 41-0 with the extra point coming.
Yeah, we told you Matt Tomaselli was a good quarterback. He has the ability to run and throw, which he did there, but that was a really nice catch by Teddy. He kind of had to bend his body back just a little bit, twist it a little bit, was able to make the catch and take it all the way in. Nice job by Teddy.
Del Ponte's kick is up and good. And so with 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the game, the Panthers are on the board again. A 60-yard pitch and catch. Matt Tomaselli with his first Panther touchdown. Teddy Ratcliffe with his first first Panther touchdown and 60 yards out. Holliston just showing the depth they have on this team, Jay.
Well, you got 6-0 Ashland coming in here, and then you got a playoff game, and in back-to-back games they've outscored their opponents right now 90-0, and they've just really done a nice job. And you're right, Tom, about the depth, and the reason they have the depth is because these coaches, once they get ahead, fortunately they get ahead in a lot of these games, and these coaches will put in kids who are well coached. They know what to do. The kids are well coached. They know what to do, and they're able to play at a high level, just like the guys that were playing ahead of them.
And Shaker able to break it to the outside, pushed out of bounds for a big gain as he crosses midfield. Well, Teddy Ratcliffe with that touchdown becomes the 11th different Panther this season to make it to the end zone. Talking about depth, talking about options, talking about scorers, and people with speed or size, and Holliston just seems to have it in spades this season.
Well, and seriously, Tom, you talk about that, and if you think about it, 11 different people. That's a lot in the high school, because usually in high school you got 5 or 6 guys who might score maybe a 7th, but 11 different guys, that is just amazing.
Gagliardi, number 32. He's got a gain of a couple. Some new numbers out there. Ryan Stanwood, number 16. Number 23, Kevin Bailowitz.
53, Justin Baddock.
Number 20, Grady St. John out there on defense. So 2nd down and 7 for the Raiders. They pitch it to Robideau. Tries the left side, Stanwood with an arm on him, but number 67, Carter Capello, the sophomore, with the tackle.
Ryan Stanwood did an excellent job turning that ball in, and even got a shot at grabbing the runner there, but nice job by Ryan Stanwood. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to come out, contain that run, make him turn inside, and get some help from the rest of the team, make the tackle.
Rob Quinzani, number 58 out there. So 3rd down and 6 for the Raiders. We're down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. Meehan rolls out. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, it's been home sweet home for the Panthers, as I mentioned on the top of the show. And Holliston remains undefeated at home. They go to 11-0. Todd Kiley gets his 136th win. The Panthers go to 18-5 in the playoffs. And here at Comedian Field in the last 9 years, Holliston 48-7. Just a tremendous record. And it's because of the support this program gets by the town, the parents, the school. I mean, it's just fun to be down here. And the Panthers did not disappoint in this important first-round playoff game.
Yeah, and those 2 points count next week, too. It's going to be fun to be down here, and the Panthers will not disappoint next week either.
Meehan chased, puts it out deep. Intercepted by Holliston.
You know, Tom,
I'm trying to see who got the ball there. Number 14, Brian Gary, with the interception.
Tom, I saw that pass. That was the second pass I saw Meehan throw that was a little off. I'm wondering if the reason they ran this offense tonight is maybe there's something with the quarterback, Ryan Meehan, that I mean, he's playing both ways, so it can't be really hurt too much. But I saw him throw the ball. He wasn't throwing like that. He was zipping passes tonight in the past. I mean, so maybe that's why they ran that offense just up the middle every time they had a chance to run the ball tonight. And I don't know. Maybe we'll never find out why.
Dennis Yarmouth has taken the lead back 27-20 at the end of the 3rd quarter. So it's going to come down to the wire to see which one of those strong Southeast Massachusetts teams will be headed here to Comedian Field.
But the fact is, they will be heading here. And it looks like they're going to just take a knee or let the clock run out. That's going to be it. Well, we got a minute. We want to thank our staff down there, Bruce Guilfoyle, and Chris McNanny in the truck tonight. Did a great job, you two, as always. Owen Radcliffe and Christian Boudet down on the field with the cameras. Of course, the lovely Lisa up here with her camera, and Steve Stats Hedrick, who filled in for Carlos tonight. Nice job, and thank all of you.
And Tristan Benson with 148 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns has the night of his life here at Comedian Field. Panthers just with an outstanding job in all 3 phases of the game.
Yeah, this is total domination. You know, I said to the beginning of the game, if they both play their best game, Holliston will win. If they both play their worst game, Holliston will win. It really took Somerset to play its best game and Holliston to play its worst game for them to have a shot. And it just, whatever happened, just didn't work out that way. And Holliston was just dominant in all phases of this game. They win the game 42-0. Tom, thank you very much. Good job, buddy. We'll see you. We'll be here next Friday, right?
For the playoffs in the Division 5 South semifinals. We'll see you then, everybody.
Good night, everyone.